Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Tengku Halimatun Saadiah binti Tengku Obaka with participation ID CT-00079. Would like to present our study with title Factor Explaining Post-Harvest Practices Adoption Among Fruit Farmers in Johor. This presentation will cover introduction, literature review, research methodology, result and discussion. For introduction, Department of Agriculture has reported that Malaysia per capita consumption of fruit is currently at 62.18 kg and the self-sufficiency ratio of fruit is 80.24%. Meanwhile, Malaysia produces 1.6 million metric ton fruit per year. However, Malaysia still need import 585 million metric ton. It shows that fruit production in Malaysia are still in sufficient quantity even though in local demand. Post-harvest practices refer to activity after harvesting, including sorting, grading, washing, curing, washing, pre-cooling, packaging, transportation, until marketing. However, all farmers need to adopt post-harvest practices to maintain the prolonged shelf life of harvested fruit because inappropriate post-harvest handling practices, lack of knowledge and skill will affect the post-harvest losses. Post-harvest losses of fruit and vegetable in Malaysia have shown a big number of losses at every level of farm, wholesaler and retailer. Bautista et al. Have reported that average post-harvest losses for fruit and vegetable in Malaysia is estimated at around 20%. Other study also shows that losses occurred at farm level because of lack of storage facilities and improper handling. The main issue of this study is post-harvest losses of fruit and vegetable in Malaysia have shown the high number of losses at farm level. More than 50 to 70 losses during post-harvest handling is caused by inadequate post-harvest handling and non-adoption of post-harvest technology. Even though there is some study have been discussed in developing countries on post-harvest technology adoption, but it is different in everywhere, so researchers should investigate in specific countries. Thus, this study aims to evaluate the relationship between performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, facilitating condition, and attitude with post-harvest adoption among fruit farmers in Johor. Literature review for post-harvest practices shows that literature on factors that influence the implementation of post-harvest technology and handling practices are still lacking. Besides this, implementation of appropriate post-harvest handling practices among small-scale actors at different stages of the distribution chain in Malaysia are still low. Practices and technology adoption in agriculture, especially among farmers, has always been low, and it will caused by post-harvest losses. And what it makes more serious is most of farmers are poorly adopt agriculture technology or practices. From the previous study, the effect of independent variables like performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, facilitating condition and attitude on post-harvest practices adoption shows that there is positive significance toward practices adoption. Research framework of this study have been adapted from Vakatech and Eisen, which is from UTAU and TPB theory. This research framework includes 5 independent variables that will influence dependent variable, which is post-harvest practices adoption. This study have used quantitative study that used to test relationship among independent variable and dependent variable. 150 fruit farmers that involved in post-harvest activity have been chosen by using simple random sampling. This name of fruit farmer have been got from Department of Agriculture and Malaysia Pineapple Board in Johor. Most of respondents from this study are male, Malay, aged from 41 to 50 years old and have 6 to 10 acres of land, and most of them have 6 to 10 years experience in food industry. Result of this study shows that all hypotheses have been accepted. There is significance between 5 independent variables in this study like performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, facilitating condition, and attitude toward post-harvest practices adoption. and it have been supported by previous study that also shows that there are significant toward agricultural practices adoption. This is first hypothesis of these studies. Second hypothesis. Third hypothesis. Fourth hypothesis. And last hypothesis. For conclusion, this study only focused on combination of variables from UTAL and TPP theory, but there is many adoption theory can be discussed for future research in future achieve sustainability and green growth of agriculture. Besides this, in future demographic factors such as population, strata, and socioeconomic also can use for variables that may influence the adoption. Researchers also need have good connection with government agencies like Federal Agriculture Marketing Authority, Pharma, or Department of Agriculture to ease them in data search and approaching the target group. That's all from me. Thank you. I hope this study can give benefit in future. Bye.